Welcome back to the channel. My name's Adrian and it's Sunday the 10th of August and this is my weekly channel update. This is my chance to talk about a specific topic and I'm really looking forward to this one, and I don't mean that in a sort of clickbaity thing. I did a thing earlier last week that worked and I'm so pleased with what happened. I'm going to do my preview review and I've got some of the biggest games I've ever had or books to look at in a week, which is really exciting. A couple of playthroughs, or three plays, is it four? Three plays, I think, and three plays and a character creation. Because this channel is going to be getting a load more plays. And if you're an indie creator, actually, if you are a big creator, stick around to the end. I want to sort of show you through the weekly topic of what I'm planning to do, how I plan to move forward with this channel and the new channel, the Tabletop Tales Dungeon and Dyslexia channel that has been set up specifically for you smaller creators to showcase your wonderful talents with a live team, and I'll come on to that when we get there. So I'm going to start with what I played this week. So Sunday we concluded Soulbound, which is it's quite sad because I'm now kind of get the world a little bit more. We've done the first part of I don't know what the adventure is called, but Paul's been running it. We've been doing this live on a Sunday, and we're going to move to Acton Cthulhu, which we're doing the characters for tonight. Or I should say, there's no weekly channel update next week because I'm on holiday next Sunday, and my wife has rather meanly said I'm not allowed to get my phone out and do any recording while I'm away. So I've pre-recorded a fair few videos to go out, so they will be coming out. So we're going to do character creations for Acton Cthulhu tonight, and then 2 Sundays time we're going to pick up and start. I think I'm going to do the start. So I haven't completely decided where I want to start because I want to run the Atlantis campaign, Shadows of Atlantis, I think it's called. But I've got to make sure the players are sort of into it first. You can't just start a campaign and then find out that everyone really dislikes it. So that's the first plan we've got going on there. So next thing I played, so Monday night I rolled up character to run on RX Oliver's channel. Well done, mate. You finally hit 1,000 subscribers. I know, this is a massive thing for everyone that's on YouTube. Getting to the 1,000 is absolutely brilliant. It's stress off because your videos will just, it doesn't make a lot of money, but you are getting something in and rewarded, and it's an amazing feel to actually get to that 1,000 people throughout the world that will subscribe to you. So well done that. But well done, mate. So we are going to be playing Warhammer 4th edition on their Cubicle 7s. Finally, I've never played it. I've ran it and I've never actually played it, so I'm looking forward to this. I'm mismatching my own character. In the end, I'm going with, I think I'm going to go Human Priest, because I fancy just being that sort of sit back and be useful to a party, because Warhammer isn't the sort of game that you try to get into combats with, and I think having a priest in the party is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be offline, so you're not going to be able to sort of catch up with me running that. Tuesday night, Horde Wars. Now, I didn't do a video on this. I was going to, and one of my friends, a very good, one of my best mates, Paul, he's in my Tuesday and Sunday group, and we had this conversation. And one of the reasons I don't like Daggerheart and 5th edition is because the encounters are skewed in that sort of balanced way where the players probably are going to survive. So we had a sort of debate about this, and I was going to do a talking point on it. And Horde Wars is such where it really isn't like that. So they got to they did their first adventure, and they got to a cave, they got a lot of rewards, then they realized, well, random items that they found, then they realized they can't carry this stuff home. So just two of the party stayed in the cave to protect all the thousands of gold pieces worth of treasure, and 2 of the party left, which was Paul and Matt's characters, so sort of like the assassin and the knight. And so we rolled the random tables, and they rolled a 20. And if you've ever played Horde Wars Advance, you're aware that 20 takes you onto a alternative table of really strong bad stuff. So, and then you roll a time for when it's going to happen for the attack, and they rolled a T-Rex. These are starting first level characters being attacked by a T-Rex. They got to roll a D2 to find out how many T-Rexes are going to turn up. Luckily, it was one. Okay, but the T-Rex arrived when they were asleep. They were just sort of getting up for the day. And one that they have between them, there's a knight. Obviously, a knight has one horse, comes with a horse, and then they had a cart that they were sort of taking some stuff back to then empty off, to then come back, hopefully buy a larger cart with what the goods they had, to then come back. And obviously, this T-Rex comes into the camp, and Paul moves off with his horse quite quick. Jumps on his horse, goes, and Matt's character jumps on a horse, no riding skill. He jumped on the cart horse, no saddle, nothing. So he then fell off his horse. And I can hear Andy and Rob in the background just giggling at this point as this T-Rex is coming in. So Paul, the brave knight, turns around and sort of charges the T-Rex and, whips out his axe. He's like underneath it, fighting it like mad. And he's slowly realizing that whatever they do, this T-Rex is not going to go down, because I still use the blooded sort of section from 4th edition to let people know that they've at least got halfway through the hit points, because hit points can be a little bit of a pain in the bum for a games master and a player to sort of engage. Now this thing had 50 odd hit points. There isn't a 50 in it, but I know my players watch this, and what I'll never do after an encounter is I won't spoil and let them know how many hit points there are, because needless to say, the T-Rex sort of clawed Matt's character. Matt just went flying across the room, almost ripped in half. So Paul had to sort of disengage, healing potion, pop him back up with 10 hit points, and they sort of get on the horse, and the horse can do this double speed, so they just manage to outrun a T-Rex, because T-Rexes can go faster than humans. And I was like, see, this is... Well, we haven't had this conversation. We are now, but he's not here. But everyone agreed that that was really fun, because non-balancing encounters are fun, especially if the player's bright enough to run away. If they stay there and die, that kind of becomes their own fault. But dice can go against them, when you naturally fall off a horse. Paul could have just left, let Matt to die. Matt rolled another character, he went back and fought it. I actually thought he was going to pick him up, drag him off and move him, but no. So yeah, Horde Wars is going really well. We're having a blast with that. They've just managed to get to 2nd level now, so they might be they're still not going to be able to fight a T-Rex. But yeah, Horde Wars is a blast, which we'll come on to Horde Wars live play soon. So we've got, and then Friday night was my big experiment. I, a couple of weeks ago, asked for playtesters, because I was like, I think it's a good idea. Let's set up a live channel for my role-playing channel, and let's run lives off my channel. And a few people on the Discord were like, you probably want to separate your live channel away from your main channel, because it can be quite risky because of the algorithm. So I have set up this channel here. So we've now got Dungeons and Dyslexia Tabletop Tales, which is a live, it's going to be a live only-ish channel. But I'm also going to put my crowdfunding on here. So this, for those of you who recognize the background in this videos, I did have another channel that I ran along the same time called Old Boys New Toys, that I ran with a couple of good friends of mine. Sadly, in the 3 odd months since they walked away, they had no sort of inclination to come back. So I've kind of gone, do you know what? This will be the live play channel. I'll put a link down in the description below, because this is what we're going to talk about at the end of the video. So here we've got, Than Gibson ran the incredibly fun DarkSpace as a test. I put it all through StreamYard, and StreamYard isn't cheap, but luckily my incredible Patreon members pay, and I basically have used the Patreon money, most of the Patreon money, to pay for StreamYard, which means I can stream unlimited amount of times during a month. So Than ran this, and it was like a light bulb moment in my head, because I was planning to run live videos probably once a week, once a fortnight, and then I kind of got a little bit scared, because I thought that's a lot of extra work, and then Than was like, why don't I run DarkSpace? And I was like, why don't you? Because it then freed me up to do everything else. So I got to play a game, I've always wanted to play. I've done the review of DarkSpace, had an absolute blast. It goes out live so people can join in, ask questions, talk about it, all the interactions that you get from the live. And it worked well. I almost died, very close on a one shot. But I'm going to explain how I want this to work and what we're doing after I've got through my preview reviews. But yeah, so 4 games played in a week, which was pretty good. And we're going to see a lot more play on this channel. Okay, so this is the section. This is the preview reviews. This is the games that I bought, games I've been sent to go through. And there's been quite a lot this week that I've picked up, actually. So I'm just going to start with, how do I turn some of these things off? There we go. Is that it? Yeah, we go. So I've been sent this by Courtney, who is the writer of Sin City. I had an email from them saying that, thanks for sort of covering the book. If you need any help for getting the review, I will be doing a review of this at some stage, but this is a starter game. I'm in contact with Courtney. I'm trying to get them onto the channel to do a one shot of Sin City. But Sin City, in essence, to me, I've read it through once. I need to spend a little bit more time in it. It's kind of like Shadowrun, Cyber, was it Cyberpunk, that sort of things. But obviously you do have the elves and orcs that you get in the sort of Shadowrun era. Now this is a starter adventure that is available as well. So this is all I know. I haven't actually looked at this yet because I've had such a manic week getting through everything else that I've had arrive and sort of sorting out the play testing and everything else, and trying to sort out going on holiday as well, which getting enough videos recorded. So hoping I can get Courtney on to come and do some live plays of Sin City. The full review will come at some stage. So I'm just up against it. I've got so much going on at this moment in time. So we've got a couple of things that I bought, which is kind of foolish because I think if I'd asked Cubicle 7, they possibly would have sent me these for free. So Imperium Maledictum, it's the 40k version of Warhammer Fantasy 4th edition. And the Inquisitor's Player's Guide and the Inquisition Games Master's Guide have been out for a while. And I thought, I need to pick up physical copies of these because I need to get this to the table. And so it's going to come at some stage, as well as some reviews and stuff. 4th edition, I love 4th edition. It's that Chaosium basic D100 roll under. But this is 40k. I know very little about 40k. I'm incredibly ignorant about it. But this is more of a gritty, I think I get the impression it's just all based on one world. So, and I'm always a fan of more options is always better, and I'm always like, if I can get more stuff in. So what, let's have a quick look at the player's guide. So what we're going to get, so we're going to get some holy orders here, Patreon to the Inquisition, Acolytes to the Inquisition. So I'm guessing it's just going to be more player options as you'd expect. 144 pages, so it's that sort of mid-range Cubicle 7 size. More weapons in the armory. Oh, familiars, that's cool. Let's just have a look at some of the familiars. That didn't work, did it? No. The hyperlink doesn't work. Okay, it looks like it's going to work. Let's just go and have a look. Are we going to get some artwork for familiars? Oh, look at that. That's a cyber familiar augmentation. I want one of them. It's a bit cooler than, was it Boxy from the 1980s Battlestar Galactica? It was Boxy the Kid. I can't remember. I think Boxy was the kid. I can't. Okay. Here we go. Cyber Mastiff. I've got a French Mastiff. He's big enough it is without cybernetic image. Okay, so that's more player options. That's cool. Games Master options. What are we going to get in this then? So more stuff on the Inquisition, running adventurers, role-playing Inquisitions, radical methods. Okay, this looks like some more lords and descents, contacts in the game, sector threats, so demonic aliens and stuff. That hyperlink works. Okay, almost perfect 10s across the board there. And the Reaper. We've got something really big with really meaty stats in here. That's it, 40s and 60s. That's quite high. Storm's Eye. Probably should be. This is probably a little bit spoily. Let's stop looking at that. Okay, so I've picked up the Land of M because a lot of my subscribers and people on Discord go, we want to see a review of it, and I've been put off for a while purely because of this frog thing at the front of the book. But I've watched a couple of sort of clips of videos on here, so I picked up the box set, as you can see up there, which comes with core rule book. You've got bestiary in here. And then you've got this 400-page Mucklands campaign. Now, sadly, I'm not going to show any more of this because I'm going to go live tomorrow night with my members. And I'm going to do a members-only live interaction. Because I never talk about the membership that I've got on this channel. So I'm going to sort of do a first impressions going through all these 3 books, having a look, have some thoughts, have my members on to ask questions round about at the same time. Now, I assume I'm going to put it back out for everyone at some other stage. I don't know how many days or what. I've never done a live members only thing, so it will, it will be available for everything. I don't like the idea of holding something completely behind a paywall. I think I can do this. I'm not I don't know a huge amount about YouTube and membership, but I know I've got a pledge level that I've put in there for. So if you join, I think it's. So the initial one is just like a $1. The next level, which will get a video at least a month. So I'm going to do sort of like these first impressions and stuff, I think, on there. But it's a chance for a Q&A, so it's going to be just a small group of people that will come on. And it should go live. I'm going to do it about sort of 7:30, 8 o'clock British summertime tomorrow. What's that? Monday the 11th. So I'll put the thumbnail out and get that going at some stage. But yeah, it will be available for everyone else out there. I then picked up Mythic Bastionland because everyone's been raving about this. We did a live review of Into the Odd, and I did not like it at all. So I've had a quick flick through. I don't like this. I don't like it. I'm struggling to read chunks of it. I don't like the font used. There's a lot of titles that everyone's going to go, you're a little bit picky. I don't like books to be effort. It doesn't appear to be very well laid out to me, because the titles kind of blur in. There's no real visible gaps. There's lots of words on a page and not a lot of art. But I am assured by several people, and Quinn's did a review on this. So I don't think I'm going to review this because Quinn's did a review on it, and he's got like 250, 300,000 views on it. So there's very little point in someone having my opinion on it when Quinn's has more than covered it on his video. So I might do it, but at this moment in time, I'm starting to feel like this is going to be a tough read for me. We then got the $15 million Kickstarter, Stormlight Handbook, and the Will Book. I've only picked up these because Neil, one of the Games Masters, and let's say one of the best friends as well in the group, he's picked up all of this, so I'm not allowed to read anything else. So this is the handbook, is the main core rule book. It's coming in at 392 pages. I've had a bit of a flick through. We did play this. We did the Kickstarter play test, and it was really good. I can't remember anything about it other than it's a D20 system. I don't know anything about the world. I've never read any. Is it Brandon Sanderson? Something like that? So, yeah, Brandon Sanderson. Never read any of his books. I've kind of wanted to, but I don't have time for reading books anymore because I'm too busy doing this. It's like we were talking the other day about the Mafia computer game, Xbox game, PC, whatever that's on. Looks really good, but if I ever bought something like that, I'm just never going to upload anything off my YouTube channel because I get a little bit obsessed with things. So if it's good, I'll just keep playing it. But yeah, I've listened to a few sort of playthroughs and stuff as well as this. I think Neil's very much keen to get this back to the table, get the campaign run, but I think I will have a review of this coming out at some stage. So this is like your player's guide, and then you've got this world guide for understanding the world, that hopefully if I read this I won't need to read many of the books. But this is beautiful. They're both really stunning. Oh, I didn't notice this is missing arm there. Is that a giant man? He looks a little bit taller, doesn't he? Don't know. Sure, fans of the books will correct me and go, yeah, he's a giant man, and he's called a whatever they are called. And then finally, this one's got a little bit of conflict for me. Wednesday night, we're back to doing our lives. So Pookie, Juan, Rob and myself are doing a live review of Tales of the Old West, and I do love a good Western. But it is Year Zero engine, as it did tell me once I got into the very next page in here. So I don't know. Well, I'm not going to say, am I? I'm not going to say here my thoughts on it. But that's nice. It is nice looking. So I'm not going to say any more on that. So that goes out live Wednesday. Well, that'll be about the 13th, I think. That'll be around about there. Okay, so that's it. That is the end of the preview review. So what I'll do now is spend the rest of the video just talking about why I want indie creators and the help that I want. So say a couple of weeks ago, the idea was I wanted more people on my Discord to do play testing and live testing of games, and I thought I was going to run it, and thanks to Than coming on and running DarkSpace, I'm now hoping to but get indie creators. So any indie creator, if you've written your own zine, module, book, anything like that, please come over. Whether you contact me here, my email is on my channel description. And there is also, obviously, come and join the Discord. That's the easiest way of getting hold of me, because I get Discord messages a lot sooner. But what we're now looking at is bringing on indie creators to run their own modules, one-shots, anything. So the rules are quite simple. Rules, but they're not really rules. But we're going to go out live on a Friday evening. Start at 8 o'clock British summertime, ending around about 11 o'clock. I want them to be a one shot. I want them to be a complete start closed. You will be responsible for pre-generating the characters. There's going to be no character generation on there, and you're going to run the game. You can let me know how many players you want for your one shot, but the key thing is that we can just run it on. Say it's going to run all over StreamYard, which works really well. We didn't have to mess around with the mics or the cameras. It's all high definition, looks really good. You can run it on whatever VTT you want, because all I'm going to be doing is screen sharing. If you want to screen share your end, you can. Might make sense a little bit more on my end, because then you won't have the secret maps. If you want to run Theatre to the Mind, we can run with Theatre to the Mind. However you want to run it, just let me know. If you want to come on and run anything, if you've got a module you want to play test, we can play test your module. If you've got something coming out or something old that's coming out. But so I've written out to a few people on my Discord, and it's been absolutely mind-blowing just how many people I have now got signed up for games. And this is on the Fridays. So what I want to do is just show you the caliber of the people that we're going to be having on my channel over the next 2 to 3 months, and an idea of the games they are going to be running. Okay, so this coming week, or next week, we've got Brian, the creator of Femora. This is already filled. If you want to be involved in as a player of any of these, just let me know. Jump onto my Discord. We've got a secret, not a secret channel. There's a channel in there, and then I'll create a secret channel specifically for the game. So we sort of talk about the game. So I'm going to put a calendar on. So we're going to directly recruit for this. But yeah, this is a Shadow Dark module. It's a really good module. Brian's going to run a one shot himself. This is already full, sadly, but this will be going out. I think it's the 22nd. The day I'll come back from holiday, we're going to put this together and say it's so much more relaxing for me to have this wonderful talent on, because I can just sit and then play their games as well as with new friends and stuff. So following week, we've then got Night Watch coming in, which is here on. So I don't think Bonsard is running this, but this is an alternate history using a very similar rule set to Savage Worlds. It's sort of very sort of cyberpunk, steampunk. I think it was like 18th century, somewhere around there, sort of big mechs and stuff. So, and again, this is already filled, but I haven't started filling the rest of them. So next up, we've got Troy Mepians, who's going to be running The Road to Redemption, and these are his new books. So he's the writer of Ashlands through The Yellow Hand, which I've done a review of that. That's really good. This is his Western themed books. And these are straight Western. So this is more sort of TV style Western than that. So everything going on from here will be looking for people to come and join the playtests, okay? As well as, said, looking for creators to come on and run their own stuff. We've then got Bill Harvett in, who the writer of Righteous Vow 1, 2, and 3. He's going to be doing a one-shot at some stage. I've then got Fernin who's doing Hexborn, which is a Kickstarter that I'm really excited about, which is playing sort of demons in this other world. So great looking artwork. I'm going to say great and fantastic writers and authors a lot, so I do apologise in advance. We've then got Fern's going to be doing Shadows of the Empire, which is a Shadow Dark adventure module written in mind with Warhammer Fantasy. So that's already booked in as well. I'm going to try and see if I can move this one in. I think, is that how I do this? So then we've got... Is it that? Yeah, this. So I know I shouldn't show any form of bias. So this is already booked in. I'm not sure I'm meant to be showing this page, but it doesn't say who the author is, so I'm not going to tell you who it is. But this is... they're sent into Moria. So this is a Shadow Dark module going into Moria. So we will be recruiting players for this. He gave me a choice of a couple of his books that are coming out. And I was like, this one. I didn't even look at the second one. The second one's for, I think it's Mothership, if I remember. So that, I will get him back to do the Mothership module, because I think Mothership will make for a great one-shot. Ralph is then coming on to do Atomic Shadows, and if you watch my live with Atomic Shadows, this is a sci-fi post-apocalyptic version of Shadow Dark. I've then got Ben coming on to do Black Powder and Brimstone, which is a Mortborg inspired sort of 20-year war across Europe type thing. And then Rob from Pork Hummock Press is also booked in to do some sort of Gods of the Forbidden North type one shot. Zach Goins we've been backwards and forwards, so I'm still trying to get Zach in, pinning down for a date. I don't know what he's going to be doing. He's done some incredibly good modules for Pirateburg. He's also got his upcoming Kickstarter crowdfunding project, Raptor. I can't think what it's called now typically, but this is it's basically Jurassic Park written by Zach Goins, and so we will sort a date out for that, because and now I've said it on here, Zach, because I know you'll be watching this, that so we're just backwards and forwards trying to sort that out. And I've got, I think, another sort of 6 or 7 people that have said they want to come on, but trying to sort out dates. I'm mostly booked up till November now. I may open up additional days. I don't know, because I've got a lot of other things I want to run and a life. Kind of a life. not much of a life, but there's a few evenings. So, I don't really want to be filling up with other. But obviously, if we do end up having overflow, I'm quite happy to allow other people off my Discord to sort of join in and run. Because the setup for StreamYard is very, very simple. So if you want to be involved as a player, jump on my Discord. I'll put a link to the description below. If you are a writer, creator, say, of any module, anything else, again, find me on the Discord, find me on the emails. I don't charge, but I'm not, I'm not doing this for that. I basically absolutely loving the thought of now being able to sit down and play lots of other different games, relax, and do it on camera, which is an absolute blast, because it's all live, it's all out there. You can't take back anything you say or do from a character point of view. Go and watch the DarkSpace playthrough. We had an absolute laugh. It was brilliant. It worked so well. I was so impressed, hence the reason for doing this. So that's it. I don't think I've got anything else to add. So I will be recruiting players for the games that we've got booked in. I'm so looking forward to everything on there. I can't wait to sit down on the table, and there's some really good other people that I'm talking to, even as of today, trying to find dates and stuff. So if you're watching this thinking November's too far away, just jump on now, because I think I'll be booking into next year quite quickly, because some of the people that I've got on have already asked me for an additional date as well, because they've got new things they want to be running and new sort of Kickstarters and crowdfunding, you know, because it means we can run these things alongside your project. So, you know, if you've got something that you're thinking, you know, February next year I want to do it, let me know now. We can put it in place, reserve the dates for you, etc. So yeah, all we ask for in return is that I'm allowed to jump in and play, and with a few other people. But yeah, so that's it. If you've enjoyed this video, I said no video next week. I am on holiday, so it'll just be pre-recorded stuff. The comments takes a little bit longer for me to respond to, so just bear with me. And then we're back from the holiday on the 22nd, live with Brian doing Femora for Shadow Dark. And actually, the people sat on that, there are 2 other YouTubers joining in with me on that one as well. There's a big YouTuber joined in on DarkSpace, so yeah, go and see that. So if you're still here, thank you for watching. I look forward to see you on my Discord, anywhere else on the social media. Say if you want to get hold of videos earlier, please consider joining my membership. Please join my Patreon. I'll release a couple of videos earlier on my Patreon as well over there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you live tomorrow if you remember, and if not, it'll be a couple of weeks until you do. Thanks.